Give me a second. Are the slides visible?
Yes, sir, they're visual.
Yeah, Abhinav, maybe you can start.
Sure, then I'll just begin with a laconic introduction. So I'm Abhinav Damor, ITC's present BioX Secretary, and I'll also give you a brief on the GC restructuring initiative. So we decided to revamp these industry GCs as ITC, which stands for the Industry Technical Challenge. And well, the reason behind choosing this name was multifaceted, and primarily being that we wouldn't have to create a new logo and could simply continue the Institute Technical Council ITC logo. So apart from those jokes, as part of the industry technical challenge, as the name suggests, you would gain industry exposure. And this initiative had to be designed carefully to ensure that we are able to sort of modernize the traditional GC while also safeguarding the soul and psyche of these iconic inter-hostel competitions that we have. And again, this year, for the first time ever, inter-hostel teams are permitted. So you will be able to team up with your friends, represent your hostel, and also stand a chance to win internship opportunities and also unreasonable cash prizes. And so I would say that it doesn't get any better than this. I guess Jay, you can take control now, and we'll get a bit more specific about the modeling DC that we have.
Thanks, Abhinav. So, guys, if you already know, we had circulated this video in your GC groups. Now, I mean, I can't read the chats, but I hope like you got those videos and audio files. And I mean, it had something related to a person murdering someone, and I'm pretty sure you're wondering why we did that. Uh, but just for those who are like have no idea what I'm talking about. So yeah, we had shared this video to actually give our, I mean, some you can say teaser of our PS. So our PS is basically a murder has been committed, and drone aviation is hiring you to design their drones so that these drones that can catch the murderer. Now there are these multiple drones, and these are like they are surveillance drones, and they are also responsible for detect like catching the murderer and like roaming around the forest. Now to make these drones, you need a very robust obstacle avoidance like system, and so basically that's what your entire PS is about. You need to construct an obstacle avoidance system. More details on it later. Also, if you already saw our posters, I mean, that way, like you don't, I mean, then you already know that we are giving some very exciting prize. I mean, Drona is actually giving some very exciting prizes for you to complete the PS. I mean, not complete, like to excel in PS. And they include drones and also internship opportunities. So yeah, I hope you like that perked you enough. So the entire like the PS for or exact PS for GC or like ITC as Abhinav mentioned was is that you need to integrate 4 ultrasonic sensors in such a way that they can give a complete 2D obstacle avoidance to your drone. Now the ultrasonic sensors are there in the hub, and they are pointing to front, back, left, and right. The software which you will be using is the Cygnus IDE. Like will the a brief introduction of Cygnus ID will be given by representatives of Dona, and yeah. So this is the problem statement. The exact intricacies and all those details, and if any doubts you have, we'll open the session. Like we'll allow you to unmute at the end of the session, and where you can ask the Dona representatives for the same. Also, for this GC, you can like, so basically we won't be forming a group or and entertaining the doubts and all those things. There will be there is this Drona forum. Okay. Guys, please don't annotate in the sites. Yeah, there's this Drona forum where you can ask questions, and you just like I mean the forum link I'll just share with you in the like after the, I mean after my PPT. It's there in the donor site. If you just go into the donor site and type forum, you'll get it. There's a detailed documentation of Cygnus ID too in the donor site. Again, the same donor, you go to donor aviation, type in Cygnus ID, and you'll get the detailed documentation. And same with the Primus X sensors, which you will be requiring, and those things. If you have any queries regarding the PS or some integration issues, you can ask in Drona forum and start your question with Aero Industry #Aero Industry PS IITV, so that the team answering the questions understands that what exactly it is for, and that way you will also have the chance of getting it answered a little quicker than the normal questions. Yeah. So a few more now, as I told you, I mean, this PS of our murder mystery and all those things are well and good. They're they are just for the story purpose, but the actual application of this PS is, I mean, Drona is actually working on it currently. It's not even something which we are giving you it's not very useful to you. This is pretty useful because the earlier problem statements like these were achieved by UV radiation, not UV radiation, laser sensors, but UV radiation seriously obstructs laser sensors, kind of operative, and it gives a lot of errors. So that's the reason we are trying to the Drona team is trying to integrate your ultrasound in it. But there's one issue with ultrasound. Now that exact issue is that you can't use while loop. It poses a technical difficulty. Now, if you use while loop in your this thing program, it won't work. So that's the major you need to think about it, that you need to find this ultrasound sensor, make this entire program, this entire ultrasound sensor without using while loop. So yeah, that's the major thing. So apart from this, I'll just give you a brief into the instructions for submission. Submission deadline for this problem statement is 11:59 p.m. Sunday, which I already told to those who are present a bit earlier. I'm not sure about the count. Yeah, half of the people know this. Okay. Now you need to submit your code. Now this is just a code base. We will not simulate it for the first part. You need to send your code along with a video describing your code. Now your team member, I mean your entire team should be visible in that video, because how will we know that you did it? Yeah. So and maybe you can just open an MS Team meeting, start sharing, and make sure all the team members are visible at all times. And these two things will be submitted by you to a form which we'll be releasing tomorrow, because not today, we'll start from tomorrow. A few do's and don'ts. Make sure you write clean and concise code with proper commenting, because the thing is you are judged on your code and the explanation. So if you write some I mean, if you write a code which is pretty good but not well commented and very difficult for us to understand, well, it's your loss then. And make sure you revisit this entire video and have a look at the rules clearly. You are not allowed to use while loop. Use of while loop and you will be disqualified. And you need to use ultrasound sensors only, and you need to integrate them. So make sure you do not mess up here. Don'ts. Clearly don't copy code. I mean, no need to take no need to actually mention it in the slides, but yeah. We will be checking it, and if you are found guilty, you will be immediately disqualified. And do not edit video, because I mean, I understand some people have this thing they record the video separately, then they will scroll the video separately, then you'll make use of a compiling software. You will just match your video. Don't do that. Make a Zoom meeting, share your screen. That's enough for us. Zoom or MS Team, whatever. Also, one more thing. So this submission is just for the first round. This GC is a 2-round GC, and only the top 5 submissions from the first round will be selected for a second round. And second round, trust me, is very exciting. In second round, you'll actually get to integrate your code with the drones. For each of the team, we'll be assigning a drone. If you're in online, we'll make an arena for you. If you're in offline, we'll still make an arena for you. And the same thing applies. And you'll need to test your drones in a fixed time span, which is the next weekend. And but the top 5 teams will get this chance, and they'll also from that the final results will be shared. Yeah, and remember PS for this first part is 2D. You do not need to integrate height into your code at all. But for the part where like we'll be having teams, that's a 3D PS. That means you'll also need to account for height. Yeah, I guess that's it. After this, we'll have instructions on sequence ID by Drono. Yeah, guys, any doubts on that? There are a lot of things in chat which I cannot see. You may like type in chat or something. So, any doubts regarding that? Because like we'll not be. I mean, there's only one orientation session. So I'll wait till 2:30. Like for till 2:30, we'll clear general doubts. After that, we'll give you a brief introduction of Cygnus ID.
There's a question in the chat.
Yeah, Pranava. The programming, simulation, and testing will be done through Cygnus. There is no simulation for round one. That's the thing. So yeah, programming will be done through Cygnus, right? There's no testing for. Because the PS is just 2D it's a 2D problem statement. You don't need to like think. I'll do one thing. I'll allow everyone to unmute themselves because that way. What did I do? Yeah, that way everyone can interact with us. So no questions. I mean, like first our drone is in the line for you, and you still have no questions. Like, okay, interesting. Okay. A team should comprise of how many team members? It's 1 to 4, Ishan. Maximum 4, minimum 1. And inter-hostel teams are allowed, as mentioned by Abhinav earlier. So that's not an issue. Okay. No doubts. So guys, just a note. Is there a limit in number of full teams? No, there's no limit. In fact, like you can also do solo and all those things. So there's no limit of anything regarding that. Also, Also, guys, we'll be uploading this video, the recording of this in the YouTube of ITC. So make sure you keep checking it. After this, I'll upload it. Uh,
So, hello guys. Now, like we will start the session from Drone Aviation. Drone Aviation is IIT Bombay startup working with drones from past about 10 years, and they won many awards in competition globally. Competition like IMAV France, ICU West Bombay, and Omkar from Drone Aviation with us.
Piyush, could you please repeat?
Dinesh.
बीच में voice cut हो गया था.
Oh. So, hello. We have Drone Aviation with us. They will be discussing about more about the PS and the platform Cygnus ID. Drone Aviation is IIT Bombay startup working with drones from like about past 10 years. They have won awards in many competitions globally, including IMAV France, ICUG Spain, MICAV Bengaluru, ECFES Mumbai, and many others. So we have Dinesh and Omkar with us. They will be guiding you through PS and telling you more about the drone aviation. Dinesh is also like previous Aeromodelling Club secretary. So yeah, uh, over to you, Dinesh.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, anyone can hear me, right?
Yeah, Dinesh.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this is Dinesh. I'm co-founder of Drone Aviation. Also, as Piyush told, I was also a remodeling club manager in 2012, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, Drone Aviation is about teaching, not just teaching, but build. So we are building a drone platform to and to for majorly for the to learn about drones and tinkering on the drones. Most of you might have tried Pluto in or your orientation or last year's orientations actually. So Pluto is a platform where you can build your own drone applications. So we have it's just not a drone but a platform where we have hardware as a Pluto 1.2 and Pluto X drones. Then we have software module as Cygnus ID and Pluto blocks. So we are selling these drones to drone platforms to schools and colleges here in India. Almost 60 to 70% of schools who is using drones as a robotics are using our platform, and many colleges are also using it as a drone lab. They're using Pluto in their drone labs. So I think I will hand over to Omkar, who will explain about the PS, which you will be competing for this, and the Cygnus ID platform, which you will be using for this.
Dinesh, could you please tell from which what name Omkar has joined, because I can't see him in the list.
Just a second. He's he's joining just in a minute. So. Yeah, so Omkar, can you explain a little bit about the PS and the Cygnus ID to the participant?
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, Jay, can you share the screen?
Sure. The old slides.
Yeah, old side.
Is it visible?
Yeah, yes. Just play the presentation. Okay, so okay. So basically, first of all, thank you for joining. Okay, and my name is Omkar. I'm working with the Drona Aviation, and you also know let us here is a problem statement. Okay, so you just have to implement such a sensors like ultrasonic sensor in your drone, like from the front end, back end, left end, and right side, and you have to program with a Cygnus ID. So you have to do some sort of coding. So your drone will be avoiding some obstacles. Okay, and you should not use any while loop in this program. And there is no ready libraries available in Pluto controller for ultrasonic sensors. So you just have to build by yourself. Okay, you just have to write a code for the same. Okay, so you can see the problem statement. Okay, I'll read for you. Okay, the problem statement piece by Drona to integrate ultrasonic sensors on Primusec flight controller of Pluto drone, pointing to front, back, left, and right using Cygnus ID to make drone avoid obstacles. Okay, using while loop is not like a use of while loop is not allowed here. Okay, and further, like for any assistance, you can use a Drona forum, and you can start your question with the Aero Industry PS IIT Bombay. Okay, next slide, Jay. Okay, so this was the practical application of this our presentation. But the thing is, you have must know about if you are using the UV IR sensors. Okay, if you are using the IR sensor, then you must be know if sun rays occurs and the sun rays having the UV rays, like so this sensor will not work in that condition. So okay, so I'll read for you. Earlier, this presentation was achieved by laser sensor, but UV radiation seriously obstruct the working of it, as I told you. Okay, so and another thing is you just have to write down a code in such a manner so your program will run continuously without any pause or break, because this the user program is running in between the main program. Okay, the project code will run in user space between the main code. Suppose if you use the while loop, okay, and it will continuously running until the your it will run the while loop until your condition is not satisfied. So that's why we have not using while loop. So you can use you can implement while loop using if and else. Okay, it's up to you how you can implement this. Okay. Uh, okay, GT7. Yeah. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. Here are the some instructions. Okay. So you can go through it. The available actually this instruction available on your I think. Jay, is this instruction available no, for everyone?
Yeah, I have already said them, and I'll share it. Omkar, could you please give them a bit of information about Cygnus? They have not. Many of us have not used them. That's like.
Okay. Can you change the next slide, please? Change next slide.
There's no like.
Okay. So Do one thing, please stop your sharing, Jay. I'll share my screen and I'll share you. Okay, I'll share my screen. Just let me know if my screen is visible or not. Okay. My screen is visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, okay. First of all, I introduce this website. You can find out in your like WhatsApp group, or I'll send this link to your the participants. Okay. So this website will guide you how to implement your like programming and all the parts. So if you go through the website, you can find it all the related terms which are required to your implement drone in your drone. So if you go through the Cygnus ID platform, so you can see all the features over here. So you can implement your APIs also here. And this is a wireless flashing, so you did not require any kind of any sort of wire or something to flash your drones. Okay, it supports DFU flashing, and it's also having a serial monitor. Have you heard about Arduino programming? In that you use a serial monitor to check the serial print. Okay, so you can also monitor the actual output on your Cygnus ID. Okay, and you can download the software according to your system. If you're having a Linux, you can download from your Mac or Windows, okay, respectively. And if you want to go through the API, so you can download the APIs from here. All the APIs are given here. I'll open for you. Okay, so all the code development, like all the introduction is given here. All the necessary terms which are required to start your like how to start for writing your code. So please go through that, and all the terms are which is mentioned here. See here, the function Pluto pilot is executed in one of the main control loops. Okay, so thus don't write a blocking code. So that's why I said please do not use while loop. It will not give any error in your Cygnus ID. Okay, but if you flash the firmware using that program, it will not run. Okay, your drone will not fly anywhere. So please go through the API documentation also. And there is a proof, we have implemented some project with a Cygnus ID. So you can refer also those. All the links are mentioned on the website. So you can use those websites also. All the links. So here are the sample of projects in this project with Pluto using Cygnus ID. Here you can find all these like hardware parameters. Okay. So I'll tell you. Okay, so it's a universe. Okay, here are the mentioned here are mentioned as a pin. So you can use any one of pins. Okay, for your ultrasonic, you can refer any ultrasonic like we are using SR04. Wait a second, I'll show you the actual sensor. It is your ultrasonic sensor that you have to implement on like our Pluto. So you can go through this datasheet also. So you can get clarify like how to use the formula or something. You are better known than me. Okay, so this is all the documentation. You can please refer before doing any programs. So I'll open the Cygnus ID for you. How many of you work on like STM32 or CubeMX ID? Those people can relate this software. Okay. So on the start, you just have to use your workspace over here. I'm using my default workspace here. Okay. Click on continue. It will open a proper specific file directory for you. So your program will not correlate with each other file directory. My screen is visible, right? Hello,
Yeah, it's
Jay. Okay, okay.
yeah.
So, okay. So after opening, you just have to click on here. Okay, click on new Pluto project. Here we are using the Pluto X. Okay, so click on Pluto X. Next, then give your project name, ATP. Click on finish. So it will open the plain directory over here. So there are we have mentioned some comments, so you can get more clarification over here. So please go through the API documentation, so you will get more clarity over here. So I'll mention the main points here. Okay, if you are initializing your hardware, okay, so you just have to write a code down here. Okay, for that. After if you, I'll tell you what is the procedure. After connecting our drones to our Pluto controller, we can directly fly it. But if you want to implement our, if you want to run our project, we have to press the developer button over there, okay, which is available on our Pluto controller. After pressing the developer button, this program will run continuously, like this Pluto loop. This loop will run continuously, okay. So if you want to add some one-time stuff over here, so you just have to add here, okay. And suppose if you want to run any type of snippets or code, so you just have to paste it here or write down, okay. After press down, like if you turn off your developer mode, you just have to code for this end. Like if you are using any motor kind of things, like if you are giving the 1800 rpm to any motor on Pluto loop, you should need to write Pluto 1000. It's a minimum range, okay. So I'll show you one example program here, okay. Here are the hash include libraries file. So you can get you just have to right click on open declaration. So you will get the API documentation here. So you can take the values from the here. Okay. So available header files are mentioned in the API documentation. So suppose in Pluto init, I am mentioning here, I'm initializing my motor 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. On Pluto loop, like on start, I'll disconnect I'm deactivating the LED status. Okay. So on Pluto Pluto drones, there are kind of some LEDs. So I'm deactivating those LEDs. Okay. On this Pluto, I'm writing some code. Okay. So you can use here. You can write down your ultrasonic code here. Okay. And on stopping my code, I turn off my developer mode. After that, I just write down something here, I'm setting the motor like 1000 rpm, like it will not fly. Okay. So after okay, so you just have to build here. It's the build button. I'm just mentioning some main point. After that, you can go through the properly, so you will get a more clarity over here. For connecting your drone, you just have to click here. Now you don't have drones, but after receiving your drones, you can connect here using this button. And for flashing, this is the button. Like I said, there are many, there are the serial monitor. Okay, so it is a Pluto monitor. If you write Pluto monitor print, is a keyword for that. So after implementing after flashing the program, after connecting your drones, all values are you can see here. Here are the Pluto graphs. So all the sensors you can see here. Okay, that's it. If you have any question, please free to ask. Okay. I'm stopping my screen. Hello. Guys, if you have any question, please let me know.
As a hardware, you will be working on the Primus X.
Hello.
Tech specs and the features you can get on the. I've shared a link, and I think Jay will also share the required resources with you all.
Oh yeah, I'll share my all the documentation.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go to the chat box. Dinesh sir has sent a link. Chat box. So you can. Jay, I'm switching over to you. Yes.
Yeah. There are a few questions in the chat box. First one is like, can we run simulation somewhere?
So there is no simulation feature in Cygnus, but if you can somehow use some other software and try it, then that would be great. Yeah, test cases are given. Omkar have shared one link of the project book. So already there are like 12, 13 projects we have already done on Pluto X and using Cygnus ID.
So there was one.
What the fuck, dude? Unmute.
Yeah. So
I'll
there was
share a
one.
link. Okay, so from yeah, Jatin.
There was one. Yeah, Pranva. He asked again. So there was one question from Pranva before. How do we know if our code is working correctly, and what is the final submission expected in final? I'll answer about the final submission. Ranva, you need to share the video and your code files which are commented, and you need to explain your code where and what you are actually using.
Yes. You can also share the CPP file. Okay, you can export the code or directly share, copy the code to any text file or directly export to the project files. And you can send it to Jay also. No issues.
Are there any other questions?
If you face any problem regarding your Cygnus ID or any Pluto X, you can write down in a Pluto forum also. Okay, or if you go through the if you go through the line by line in Pluto documentation, I hope you did not find any find any questions over there or query over there, because all the terms are all the documentation over there you can find.
Okay, I guess there are no more questions, so we'll end the session. Thanks a lot, Dinesh and Omkar, for joining in and helping us out. Uh, we'll meet at with the top 5 teams later then.
Okay,
Thank you, Jay.
best of luck to everyone. Yeah.
Bye, Dinesh.
I said best of luck to everyone.
Okay.